Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Let's learn together. So today we will be solving activity 8.3.2.1 of English book of class 9, and you will find this activity in page number 116 and 117. So let's see what this activity talks about. Now, discuss and read the given metaphors used in this poem in the left column of the grid carefully. Write the explanation of those in the right column. One is done for you. That means in this table is basically based on this poem, which is Hope is the Thing with Feathers, written by Emily Dickinson. So you have to read this poem at first, and then you will be filling up this table. So in this table, they you can see there are three columns. One says metaphors, another one is explanation of those metaphors, and how that metaphor has enhanced or has clarified your thinking or your understanding. Okay, now we have to know at first what metaphors are. Look, in Bangla, metaphors are basically upama. Basically, in poems, poets use specific phrases or different terms to compare them with something else so that they can basically clarify complex ideas within the poems. For example, if I say that time is a thief, okay, that time, I don't mean that time is stealing something. What I mean is that time basically time is so fast that it takes away moments, it takes away memories from us, it takes away people from us. That's what I am trying to mean by saying that time is a thief. Okay, so this is an example of metaphor that I am using one thing to explain another thing, to clarify another thing, or to find out the deeper meaning of what I actually want to say. So this is a beauty of poem. Basically, poets like usually use metaphors in their poems, and Emily Dickinson, she is a very famous poet of America. So she she used to use several such metaphors in her poetries, and this poetry is also a very prominent example of that. In this poem, Emily Dickinson has talked about hope, and she has compared hope with a small bird. Look what hope is. When we are in a very difficult situation, at that time, the thing that enlightens us, the thing that makes us feel the need of living, the thing that gives us the hope of living or the hope of seeing the next day, is hope itself. Hope is something that keeps us alive in the even in the most difficult situation. Okay, that is the beauty of hope. And hope or being hopeful is something very important for us, because if we are not hopeful, if we are hopeless, that means we do not have any sort of motivation to live with. Okay, so in that regards, hope plays a great role, and this whole poetry is surrounded with that concept. Emily Dickinson has tried to compare hope with a small bird, and has compared the nature or the blessings of hope with the nature of a small bird. Okay, so I will provide you the summary of this poem as well, with the answers of this table. All right, so you can see that the metaphors given here are in total 10 in number. Now, as we have understood that what we have to do in the activity, we can simply go and see the answers. But before that, I will provide you the summary of this poem. All right, so here you can see that I have provided the summary of the poem, Hope is the Thing with Feathers. You can read this summary out, and this summary is very clear. That means it will give you the clear concept of the poem, or what the poem is basically talking about. Look, the poem describes hope as a tiny bird with feathers that lives inside our souls. That means hope is something that lives inside our souls or lives inside our mind. This bird or hope sings a sweet song that never stops, even when times are tough. That means hope, which they have compared with a bird. They're saying that just like a bird doesn't stop flying usually, in the same way, hope also doesn't stop being or existing in our minds, even when the times are difficult. The song of hope is especially comforting during difficult moments like storms or cold places. That means the song of hope, like the birds when they sing during difficult times, during adverse weather conditions, it feels really, really relieving to hear that singing of birds, right? So, similarly, hope also sings, especially during the difficult times, to make us feel relieved. The poem emphasizes that hope is always there, providing warmth and comfort without asking for anything in return, no matter how hard things get. That means even during adverse conditions, hope never fails to give us warmth and comfort and relief or peace. Okay, and it never asks anything in return from us, right? Then Dickinson's poem shows that hope is a powerful, enduring force that supports us through life's challenges. All right, I think that reading this summary, it's very clear to you that what has been described in the poem. Now we can simply see the answers of the table. Okay, so, look, the first metaphor is hope is the thing with feathers. Here it is clearly expressed that in this poem, hope is being compared with a bird. Okay, the explanation was already given here. You just had to write you just have to write the your understanding after getting helped by the used metaphor. The number B is that purchase in the soul. That purchase in the soul means they are basically talking about birds, the way birds reside somewhere, the way birds rest in a certain place. In the same way, hope also resides in our soul or stays in our heart or in our mind. Okay, then the next metaphor is and sings the tune without the words. That means they're telling that hope is something that does not have to express itself through words. It is just a mere feeling, and this feeling is enough for making us feel better. Words are not necessary to be spoken by hope, only the feeling is what is important. Then the next one is and never stops at all. This means that just like a bird keeps flying and flying and it doesn't stop usually. I mean, it does stop at some point, but if you think in a different way, in a poetic perspective, then let's say that it flies and it never stops. Similarly, hope is also something that is not something is that does not have a limit. It is limitless. We can hope for anything. We can hope for everything, and this the hopes doesn't really need a limitation, or it does not really have a limitation. The number E says, and sweetest in the gale is heart. That means hope is the most sweet, hope is the sweetest thing that is hard in even the most difficult times. Here, gale, it means a strong wind or storm. That means a very difficult situation. In such a difficult situation, also, hope stays with us, and we feel that hope and we feel relieved. Okay, the number F is that could abash the little bird. This means that hope, even though it is something very powerful and it is not something easily challenging or diminishable, but if the storm or if the difficult situation is very intense or if it is very dangerous, at that time hope can be challenged, but still it will remain. Then G number is that kept so many warm. That means it tells the fact that hope gives people a sense of warmth and comfort in any situation. The number H is I have heard it in the chillest land. Chillest land, this means the same thing. Chillest land means a land which is very cold. That means the weather pattern, it's very intense, it's very adverse. So even in that sort of situation, the poet has hard hope. Hard hope here basically means that has felt hope. Okay, then number I is and on the strangest sea. That means even in the most strange or even in the most unfamiliar situation, a very new situation that you never experienced before, even in a situation like that, hope is something that would never leave you. It will stay with you. It will give you the sense, it will give you the inspiration of living, or it will give you the motivation to basically overcome that challenge or that difficult situation. Then the last one is that, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me. Here, this means that hope, it gives us a lot of things. It gives us peace, it gives us comfort, it gives us pleasure, but it never asks something in return from us. We can compare this situation with a tree. A tree gives us so many blessings. It gives us oxygen, it gives us fruits, vegetables, it gives us all the necessary things that we need for our living, and still it doesn't want uh, very intense things back from us. It just wants some nurturing, that's it. But we are the people who are so much uh, careless about it, and we exploit these resources so much as if they are innumberable or they're eternal. We do not understand that those things are limited, or if the if we run out of those things, then we have to face adverse situations. So anyway, I think that you have picked up this entire table. So that's all for today's video. I hope you found this video informative. And if that is so, then please like, share, and subscribe. And if you need any sort of improvements in these videos, then let me know in the comments section. For today, goodbye. We will meet in the next video.